All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. Have you ever stopped to wonder just how vast your general knowledge really is? We recently looked at this massive, rapid-fire challenge that featured literally 100 random trivia questions. I mean, it was a totally chaotic, brilliant barrage of facts spanning everything from human biology to ancient history. But as you know, we love to organize things around here, so we've taken that wild list of trivia and transformed it into a structured journey through human knowledge.
To make sense of all that chaos, we've broken the source material down into 4 distinct rounds. So keep a running mental score of how many you get right. We're going to go through science and the cosmos, global geography, history and human triumphs, and finally, arts, culture, and entertainment.
Okay, round 1, science and the cosmos. We are kicking things off with the natural world, stretching from biology all the way to deep space. Let's start you off with a fundamental question. What is the exact name of the process that plants use to convert sunlight into energy? You know, the fundamental mechanism keeping our green friends alive. I'll give you a quick second to lock in your answer.
Time's up. It is, of course, photosynthesis. It's literally the ultimate solar power driving life on Earth. If you got that, you're off to a flawless start.
Now, this next one throws us a bit of a curveball, jumping from plant biology straight into linguistics. The source gives us the word palindrome. That's a word spelled the exact same way forward and backward, with the classic example being radar. It's kind of cool to think about how symmetry isn't just for math, right? It's fundamentally built right into how we communicate.
And hey, speaking of math and structure, the number 180 is absolutely magic in geometry. It is the exact sum of the inside angles of any triangle. Seriously, no matter how much you stretch, squash, or skew a 3-sided shape, those interior angles are always going to add up to exactly 180 degrees. No exceptions.
Let's wrap up this round with some rapid-fire extremes to really boost your science score. The hottest planet in our solar system? That's Venus. The gas that makes your party balloons float? Helium, of course. Back inside your own body, the organs quietly filtering out waste and excess water? Those are your kidneys. And bridging the gap between chemistry and the everyday, the only metal that is completely liquid at room temperature is mercury. So, how did you do on that cluster? Hanging in there?
All right, ready for round 2? This is global geography. We are officially traveling the world to test your knowledge of places, people, and landmarks.
We are starting super basic here with the number 7. That is the total number of continents on Earth, making up the entire foundational framework of our globe.
Let's zoom in on one of those continents for a second, specifically Europe. Which European Union country has the largest population? Think carefully about the major demographic powerhouses over there before I reveal the answer. Got your guess? The answer is Germany. It easily holds the top spot for population, making it a massive demographic engine within the EU.
Let's sweep across the rest of the map. The famous city of canals? That's Venice. The capital of Canada? Ottawa. And the capital of Brazil is Brasilia. But check this out. This is a wild twist from our source. The largest desert in the world isn't covered in hot sand. It's the freezing Antarctic polar desert. Crazy, right? Deserts are actually defined by their extreme lack of precipitation, not how hot they are. Oh, and speaking of water, if you want to see the tallest waterfall on Earth, you've got to head down to Angel Falls. Moving right along to round 3, history and human triumphs. We're looking back at monumental dates and the people who shaped our modern world.
Stringing these specific dates together gives us a pretty stark snapshot of a turbulent era. 1912 marks the tragic sinking of the Titanic. Then we jump to the aftermath of a massive global conflict, with the United Nations being founded in 1945. And mapping exactly to the timeline provided in our source material, the official closing chapters of World War II in 1946. It's kind of wild how just a few specific years can encapsulate such massive shifts in our world.
Now, let's contrast 2 absolute titans of mechanical innovation. On one side, we have Carl Benz, who is credited with creating the world's first car, obviously a total game changer for personal transport. On the other side, James Watt, who revolutionized global industry by inventing the steam engine. Both of these guys literally transformed how humanity moves and produces energy.
Rounding out the history round, we're looking at the architecture of law itself, specifically James Madison. He earned the heavy title Father of the Constitution, making him an absolutely essential figure in structuring early American governance and laying down the foundational rules of the nation.
All right, welcome to our fourth and final round, arts, culture, and entertainment. We're shifting gears from heavy history straight into pop culture, sports, and media.
Let's test your movie knowledge right out of the gate. What movie is this famous quote from? I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. If you're a classic cinema fan, I guarantee you can hear that iconic, gravelly voice in your head right now.
Yep, you guessed it. That legendary line, one of the most famous ever delivered in film history, comes from the absolute classic, The Godfather.
You know, culture can actually be measured in numbers too. Think about it. You've got the 13 stripes defining the United States flag, the 6 strings on a standard guitar that pretty much form the backbone of modern music, and those 5 interlocking circles on the Olympic flag representing global unity through sports. Numbers are literally everywhere in our culture.
Let's finish up this cultural sprint with a completely eclectic mix. The famous classical piece, The Four Seasons, that was composed by the genius Antonio Vivaldi. The passionate rhythmic dance originating from Spain, that's flamenco. In modern sports, the star athlete of golf is, for sure, Tiger Woods. The holiday affectionately known as Turkey Day is Thanksgiving. And finally, looking at the digital world, do you remember when Twitter's original name was just spelled TWTTR entirely without vowels? Yeah, that was a real thing.
Well, as we wrap up this explainer, it is time to tally up your mental score. Out of all the trivia we pulled from the source today, from the freezing ice of the Antarctic to the original spelling of Twitter, how many did you actually know? And maybe more importantly, what fact surprised you the most? Hopefully, this sparked your curiosity to dive a little deeper into a new corner of human knowledge. Keep learning, keep organizing those facts, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.